Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here. Today, we're going to be posting a lot of videos because there's a lot of news, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. First of all, unknown whale moves 50 million XRP amid Bitcoin's pending death cross. Guys, this might come across as some FUD, most likely because it is rightfully so. Then again, it might be misplaced. Let me tell you guys exactly why. The death cross, which is about to happen in Bitcoin, has been a subject of quite a lot of discussion on this channel, and now, over the last couple of weeks here, everywhere around the internet, people are talking about this death cross. And what that basically is the 50 EMA crossing below the 200 EMA. For Bitcoin having a negative effect on the crypto space. Now, I also found some article and a whole different thread of people just kind of talking about the death cross here. As again, I just told you guys, article after article, discussion after discussion are popping up because people, generally speaking, don't really know exactly what this is going to entail. Let me tell you guys, right? Whenever a death cross happens, all it shows is that the short-term or, last 50-day average of prices are doing worse than the longer term. Or basically, it kind of shows a little bit of a trend in prices, or actually it shows the average in price, but all right, so it's a little bit of a trend in prices that have now turned from longer term, which are more bullish, and the shorter term kind of a little bit more bearish. So you guys noticing that? It's like, it just shows that things are not doing as well over the last 50 days. And well, because historically speaking, quite often the price went down after that, people are assuming now that that's going to be happening again. Yet, if you check out the little bit of the comment section here as well, it's actually really difficult to say what exactly is going to result from all of this. Two reasons mostly why. One, if everybody's anticipating the same thing and we have a lot of room before something like that happens, well, usually the exact opposite thing happens. And second of all, which is clearly very important, is that it's just a little bit of a higher likelihood. It doesn't really mean it's going to happen, nor does it mean that we should actually react so severely like it's panic mode all of a sudden. No. It could be something, but you guys most likely know from watching this channel quite often, I think TA is not necessarily overrated, but less important in comparison to fundamentals. John98 said, TA is overrated. Glad to have read this and hope people stop overreacting about death crosses because fundamentals are better than TA. And to be honest, guys, I personally think here as well that historically it has led to further decline sometimes, but not always. And like most technical analysis indicators, it is lagging. As again, what it does show you is that the average of the last 50 candles here, basically, right, the exponential moving average, the close of the last 50, is on average now going to be lower than the 200 average. So it's just something which measures the last 50 days over the 200. It's something which is just showing the past. It's not something which can necessarily predict the future. It depends on your theory. Now, this article right here is saying Bitcoin death cross 2021. Here is the reasons why you shouldn't be too worried. Again, it basically comes into my conclusion as well. And also because logically speaking, every indicator has a success rate. It's not that reliable. Multiple cases there have been where you might think it's going to happen where it didn't. Here, for example, the venture founder posted the ultimate thread on Bitcoin death cross and cycle data analysis. Historical death cross or until golden cross time in days, plus the largest price swing since death cross begins. You can quickly see it here. 2011, 100 days from the death cross to golden cross, minus 59, 90 days to plus 83, 390 days, minus 63, and so forth and so on. You can read it in for yourself. And this suggests that, unless a death cross can reverse to a golden cross soon, less than 3 months, likely post-death cross will see further price drawdowns than price at death cross. B. Post-death cross bottoms, if price continues to go down, have always been golden buying opportunity. The percentage change in Bitcoin price where death cross begins and where golden cross begins in the past has been this. Plus 4%, plus 42%, minus 34, minus 20, plus 9, and plus 56. If you don't sell at the death cross and hold, this shows you how much better or worse you are when Bitcoin turns bullish again. Basically, we can infer that for a long-term bear market, like those after the top of the cycle in 2014 and 18, it seems far better to sell at death cross and to buy back, even at golden cross, For a shorter bear market, selling may not be so smart. Note, history doesn't mean it will repeat itself. If we define Bitcoin bull market as the period after the golden cross, bear market as the period after the death cross, then here's how long each market lasted, adjusted for consolidation period. Bull market, 733 days. Bear market, then afterwards, 576 days. Bull market, 833 days, or 883 days. Bear market, 785 days. From here, we do see a longer BTC bear market tends to follow a longer BTC bull market, slightly shorter in length, which makes sense in theory. Keep in mind, this relationship is only seen from a very limited set of data points, very limited, and may not necessarily repeat itself again, which is the same though for these Bitcoin golden and death crosses on a daily perspective. It doesn't necessarily have to follow, since we don't have like hundreds of thousands of points to follow along with. Now, in this specific sense, all I would say is that there's basically two scenarios, which is either they're right or they're wrong, which is the most obvious thing to tell, but that actually is a little bit deeper, right? It's basically, it might be right if this is the start of a long bear market. If that's the case, then it's smart to sell at the death cross and buy back cheaper. If this is the start of a short-term little bearish crossover, bearish little period time, then it would have been kind of dumb to sell because you're most likely losing out on money. And that's the point, guys. Will we ultimately make money? I firmly believe so. I have showed you guys the tweets from Plan B a couple of times now over the last couple of days. Why have I done that? Well, because I firmly believe, firmly, that all we're doing here is just kind of trying to get ourselves a better bottom. Here's, for example, one little post from Plan B from a little while ago. What that shows you is you have a general line. You might deviate a little bit from that line. Generally speaking, though, the line is upwards, and that's exactly what is showcased in some of these other posts. Let me quickly see if I can find some proper ones. Here's, for example, one, right? You might deviate from the line, but this is exactly where you're going to go. And any bear market we've seen in the past, well, it looks negative at that time, but longer term, it doesn't really look that bad. It really, really doesn't, right? Specifically because it's an exponential chart, but you guys get the picture, right? Or logarithmic. It's just, how can I explain it in the best way? Now, it's just so easy to me to understand that whatever you do, you're going to be fine. But the scariest thing is to sell and try to buy back cheaper. It's just a lot scary to do. Let me just put it like that. Now, what about XRP? An unknown whale moves 50 million of them amid Bitcoin's pending death cross. Do I think that's valid? Well, if you think about it, you might want to sell, or you might want to let go of some coins to buy back cheaper because you believe that that's the best thing to do. And all I can say about that one is, whoa, you're basically betting that this death cross is going to continue on forward, like some guys have explained, and could ensue a full-on bear market from now on. And you're going to try to buy back cheaper. Is that smart? Is that something I would do? I personally am not going to do that. However, I cannot tell you that it's a really dumb idea, or you definitely shouldn't. Why? Because I'm not the type of guy to always tell you, no, buy, we should always, buy. I'm the type of guy to be always realistic and tell you guys exactly what I think. And right now, I personally am holding my coins because I think, you know what? Whatever's going to happen, I'm going to make more money anyway, but just holding on through and not worrying too much about it. But if you're the type of guy who wants to take a risk by selling right now because of some history and try push your luck, I cannot stop you. I mean, I've tried to look at so many different analytics here, or I guess just different pieces of info that could be interesting. There's almost nothing which can be found that's really going to prove anything. Whales have been buying. Institutions are getting so ridiculously bullish on it all. We've seen that now. However, it is the weekend, right? And we also are busy, of course, with the bigger political things and the yields and the inflation and everything in the background of things. Alex Kruger just posted on Twitter, look at the bright side. Powell has a tendency to crash markets at the FOMC and pump markets at the testimonies before Congress. He will be testifying before Congress on Tuesday, and so people are expecting that, well, the price is going to be coming back up then. This week's weakness came after the Federal Reserve started talking about tapering earlier than expected. With 2 hikes in interest rates coming by 2023, central banks turning hawkish has sent the prices of stocks crashing, as well along with the yield on the 10-year bonds. And we've often seen it, and we're seeing it right now again. If stocks crash, crypto crashes, because the correlation right now is pretty damn high. We can actually get way further into this, into the real depths of things, but to be honest with you, it is extremely difficult to say whether or not this is really the truth, in the sense that this is going to ensue in the same way that we are seeing stocks follow up, and whether or not history will repeat itself again. Because this whole relationship between Bitcoin and cryptos like XRP and stocks, and even then the meetings, for example, from Jerome Powell and whatnot, correlations are so difficult to match up. We can see as many freaking wheel transfers as you want right now. You can look it up all the time, but you're not really going to find anything too useful. Why? Well, the majority of these transfers are internal, meaning you can't really, take out exactly what went on. And even if you find some big transfers, what then? I mean, what if they sold? What if they did, huh? What if? What if? Maybe these guys just have a bigger strategy. Maybe they're just sending it to somebody. Maybe they're just moving their money around. You cannot confirm that they sold, nor can we actually do anything with that info. If they sold, it might be because they're anticipating something different than we are. And is that something bad? Can we hold them to it? No. Are we bullish on crypto, guys? I personally am extremely bullish on crypto, and I've never given up. Do I think the price may go down for a little bit? Well, if I really thought so firmly, if I had a full conviction like, yeah, it's going to go down, I would have sold my coins bought back cheaper. But since it's such a scary thing and the price is still looking quite good, specifically if you start to think about how many people are bullish on it, I am not willing to take that risk. I'm just holding my crypto, waiting for better times to come that I know will come. And I'm also convinced in a certain way that Ripple will at least get another push upwards because of this lawsuit. And once that's about to happen, or once that happens, I guess, I'll be enjoying myself a little bit again. So, yeah, guys, all I'm saying right now is just I'm excited about everything. We might see, again, a little bit further downside. Is that a bad thing, though? It depends on how you view it. We can kind of see the trend being formed here for Bitcoin, actually, if you kind of shift it around a little bit. Look at that. We're maybe just bouncing again from the basically the resistance line from earlier right now, bouncing up there as a support. Let's see how this is going to continue on over the next couple of hours. Death Cross may not even come into fruition, by the way. If we get some huge pump going on over the next couple of days, it might not even come through. But at least you now know my opinion. I am generally speaking quite bullish. I have seen so many articles of whales just buying. It's generally spoken out already that this could be a really good opportunity to buy the dip, because very often it actually goes up from here within a couple of weeks, months, whatever it may be. And I will also quickly say here that I do believe crypto will see higher prices pretty damn soon. It's just maybe a game of wits too. Crypto is still very young. We don't know how these cycles work just quite yet. We don't know if they follow stocks in the same fashion. And I think it's a fun journey to be in, and I'm really, really happy to be a holder so I can be involved in all of this extra drama, I guess. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments section down below. I did a really small intro right now. I'm not sure if it's going to affect the likes. Like, if I ask you guys to press the like button, does that help? Maybe you forget sometimes? I don't know. Make sure you press the little like button just to help out the channel for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video.